Timothy, 2 and verse 15. There are other areas that we have to show ourselves approved and, worthy of certain responsibilities, able to carry on and carry out the responsibility and the work that is on us. Paul is saying here to Timothy, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And if you're in any business, if you're a salesperson or you're working in any field, you better know what you're doing. Because people ask questions. Well, I only make burger for a living. Well, that's good. They better know what to put in that burger, right? So if somebody asks you, come on an order of McDonald's for a meal, well, you better know it and not have to wonder where you get that meal and how do you put that together. You have to impress the buyer. You also have to impress your employer. We have to impress God. If you're a salesperson, you better know the things you're selling. We're in that business. We're in that business of selling this gospel to this world. We shouldn't be. But over the years, man have gone further and further away from God. And for us that stay close to Him, to us that are under His shelter, to us that are around His footstool, we better pay attention to His teaching and to His doctrine. Paul is saying we have to show ourselves approved unto God. Want to be an ambassador? That's great. But show yourself knowledgeable in the Word of God. And we are all ambassadors of Christ. But Paul is saying to Timothy, a young minister in the church, study. God will not bring things back to our memory, things that we didn't know. He will bring things that we forget, that we knew. So we have to place them in there. Study to show thyself approved unto God, workman that needed not to be ashamed. We need to impress God. And if God sees that we're hard working, He will approve the things that we're doing. He will give it, He will put a signet on it. He will bless it. Every business in this life that we do, God will be in it. God was with Saul, remember? Saul was a good man. Saul, first king of Israel. God was in approval of everything Saul was doing until he disobeyed. And God called that kind of a disobedience as witchcraft. And these are the things we need to protect ourselves against. We do not want God to disapprove. Doesn't feel good. Saul learned a very hard lesson. Going forward, brethren, we need to know exactly the things that God admired, the things that God loved, and strive towards that. 1 Corinthians 11. Verse 19. Here Paul again. For there must also be heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. Heresies. We will have opposition to the truth. There are heresies around us. Those that teach a different gospel, a different doctrine. And even in the church, we might find heresies. Those that oppose the truth or teach something different. A false doctrine, and hold on to it even in time of correction. That they which are approved may be made manifest among you. Brethren, even if heresies come among us, we should not be drawn away. They will come. We will be tested and tried. We've gone through that before. But guess what? We are approved. We know it. And so what did God do? He did not remove us. We're not the ones removed. Those that created problems are no longer with us. We made manifest by standing firm. Those made themselves manifested as well by their teachings. But they did not move us. They shifted some, but we stood our ground. So going forward, brethren, in this wonderful spirit that we feel, this outpouring of God's Spirit that we feel over this past week, we must carry that forward. We must not let it die. We must come here every Sabbath with enthusiasm, with the same zeal, with willingness to sing, to pray, to be involved, to be active in the church. Let us walk together. Let us continue to have peace, that God may continue to walk with us as He approves the things that is brought before Him as we go forward with this gospel in this community. God bless you, brethren.